my fellow friends YouTubers, this is Kurt and welcome back to the Kurt's Place channel here on the YouTube. Well, we're back down here in my basement arcade. I've had a number of users ask me to tell them about my Miss Pac-Man cocktail machine I have down here in my basement arcade. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you, show you some of the features and things that my Miss Pac-Man machine has down here in my basement arcade. Now, I also want to mention, by the way, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Also, if you like what you see, don't forget to smash that like button. And also, when you're watching a video, if you hit the little bell icon, that'll let you know whenever I have a new video coming out as well. And also, I want to mention, too, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments section down below. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Now, like I said, I've had a number of viewers ask me about the Miss Pac-Man cocktail machine I have down here in my game room. Now, one of the first things I want to tell you, I've had this machine in my room down here in the game room probably about 10 years. It's been down here. When I first got the machine and things, it pretty much was just a standard Miss Pac-Man machine. I had standard joysticks on it, standard control board and everything, but I wanted to turn this into a multi game so I can play multiple games. So that's one of the things that I did. Now let me go and start from the top, and I'll work my way down. Now, one of the first things I did is I replaced the original monitor. I put an LCD monitor in, a nice big larger LCD. I'm not sure exactly the size of this monitor is, but I believe it's a 19-inch. Now, what I had to do is I actually had to widen the bezel to be able to fit it in here. The bezel here was actually widened. It was actually made larger to be able to fit this in here. And what I did to make this work is I actually used an X-Acto knife, and I took the little cardboard overlay out, and then I was actually able to cut it with an X-Acto knife on both sides to be able to allow me to run a larger monitor like I'm doing right here. Now, one of the other things that I did too was the coin mechs and things like that. Now, the coin mechs and everything do work on this machine. I can put quarters in here too to add a credit on. These are fully functioning. Now, what I did to make the coin mechs work on here is, let me go and open this up so I can show you. The actual coin mechs use the regular coin acceptors that they have on the other Miss Pac-Man machines. It does have a coin door and everything in it. But what I did is I actually hooked these into on the inside. There's a build your own arcade kit from the Extreme Gate from X Gaming inside. And what it does is it takes the signals from these and it converts it into computer signals that goes to the computer. Same thing that I use for the joystick. So that's how I get the coin mechs to work and everything on this machine as well. When I'm using my programs and things to run it. Now, control panel wise, a number of adjustments were done for the control panel. And this is a player 2 control side. Now you're going to notice that there's actually, originally when I got this machine, I didn't have any fire buttons at all. So you're going to notice that I actually installed 6 buttons. There's actually 6 buttons over here. Now these are all X-Arcade gaming buttons that work really well. Now the joysticks that I'm actually using, I actually have a Seimitsu LS32 joystick. I use that on all my arcade machines. This is a fantastic joystick. Now, the original joystick was 4 ways. The new one's actually 8 ways. So now I can play games like Raiden Fighters and shooting games and things like that. Because this machine can run hundreds of games now. You know, it's got a computer and everything now. It's based on a MAME system, so it can run hundreds of games. Now, also another modification I did down the bottom here is, in the bottom here, it's a little hard to see, but there's actually two speaker grills under here. Let me go and turn the light on here so I can show that to you. Yeah, no, actually underneath here, I think you'll be able to see it okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, underneath there, you're going to notice that there's 2 speaker grills to the left and right. Now, what those are is those are actually stereo speakers. I actually have 2 sets of speakers in this cabinet. I use Logitech speakers. There's actually left and a right channel there, and then there's the same thing on the one-player side, too. Very, very cool stuff that I had on there, so that way I can have full stereo when I'm playing as well. Now, the actual lights and things that I had were also replaced. Originally, this had regular bulbs. I actually replaced this with LEDs, which worked out really well. That way, it burns a little bit cooler and again keeps everything working really well. That's one of the latest upgrades that I did on this. Is I put in the LEDs. Now, the one-player side, you're going to notice one thing that's a little bit different. Now, this is the one-player side. Now, one thing that's different is the 1 and 2 player buttons. Originally, they were over here, and what I did is I have a 1-player button here, and then I have a 2-player button here, and then I have my fire buttons here at 1, 2, 3, 4 for fire buttons. So that way, it keeps everything working really well. And like I said, Seimitsu LS32s. Now, another thing too that's really cool too is underneath this control panel, there's actually, I actually have a cutout. So if a button or something gets loose, like if I'm playing, for example, and a button gets loose, I no longer have to pull this control panel out. I actually cut a in the bottom of the control panel, I actually was able to cut a slot in the bottom of the control panel. So now there's actually a slot back there, so I can actually reach my hand up here and make adjustments on these fire buttons if I need to, which is another thing, you know, or if I have to tighten connections and things, that's another thing that works out really, really well. Now, what's inside this machine to make this all work? Inside the machine, there's actually an encoder. There's actually a build your own arcade kit from X Gaming encoder inside here that converts all the keyboard strokes and everything into computer signals that go to the computer. It takes the game inputs and converts keyboard stroke and converts those into keyboard strokes that go to the computer. Now, the actual computer that I'm using, this is pretty much my standard issue computer that I have down here on the ground here. Now it's actually running a main-based program that works really, really well, that allows me to play many games. Now, one of the nice things about having a setup like this is you can run games, for example, like this. Now, like originally, all I could do is I could just run Miss Pac-Man. Well, now I can run my entire library of games. So right now I'm actually running the Namco 25th anniversary one right now. So very, very cool stuff. It's nice being able to do that, you know, so that way you can have multiple games. And then I also have my start buttons and everything are actually under here too. There's actually a 1-player, 2-player start button under here. So if I want to put on a credit, I just hit this button here, and that puts on a credit, and then I have a 1-player start button, and then I can start up a game. All right, one more on there. Okay, there we go. So if I want to play a game, that's how it works. So you can see that the screen and everything also is very, very nice too. It does a great job down in the game room. This machine basically dominates my game room down here. It's very, very cool. And one of the ways I got involved in this is I actually had a Shakey's Pizza growing up that actually was able to play this out. And that's actually where I found out about Miss Pac-Man first, the cocktail machines, is I played at a Shakey's Pizza. All right, guys, so there you go. So that tells you a little bit about my cocktail Miss Pac-Man machine I have down in my game room. All right, guys, I want to thank you, by the way, again, for tuning into the Kurt's Place channel. I also want to mention, too, if you want to help show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. You can buy things such as hats, mugs, and keychains. All right, guys, and always thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next video, guys. Have a great day now. Bye-bye now. We'll see you next time. Take care now. Have a nice day.